Welcome in Living Waters. We are doing what we are calling Living Waters Sketches because we believe that telling people stories helps us create connection, create community. And so Christina's with me as always, and we have with us Alyssa Kerlinger. And we thought it would be fun for the beginning of these Living Waters Sketches is to interview our leadership council. So Alyssa's been on the leadership council for a little bit and has been walking with us through this last crazy season and into what's ahead. So thank you for hanging out with us today. Yeah. We started, as we have on all of these little sketches that we're doing with people, is asking what is her favorite snack. So she said apples and peanut butter.
Really,
so,
anything with peanut butter.
Anything with peanut butter, right.
Is that what you said?
I didn't say that. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to have a little bit of apples and peanut butter just to begin our hangout time together. Oh, yeah. So we went with Skippy. You don't have a peanut butter preference? You're not a big, you love peanut butter, but you're not
now creamy or crunchy, though.
Yeah, are you snobby about peanut butter?
I'm not snobby about peanut butter. Just give me peanut butter. I'll be happy.
Definitely looks sugar-free.
There's no sugar in that.
Yeah, none.
Don't really like peanut butter except with apples.
Perfect.
About twice a year.
Yes.
There you go. So you don't eat peanut butter?
No, I will today, and then I won't for another 6 months.
Right. But without apples, you wouldn't?
Not really. Not my. I mean, I have to be in a weird craving, for sure.
Yeah.
I was a missionary with young adults for way too long, and just watched too many 19-year-olds consume gallons of peanut butter for ever to be appealing.
Yeah. This is a great choice for eating into the mic,
just set you off of peanut.
Oh,
I know.
I think I've never been a huge peanut butter person, but when you buy like 6 adults, literally, I would buy like 8 of these a week.
Wow.
That's more than one a person.
Wow.
And it would be gone within days. No. Like it wouldn't carry the whole week, but
that would be me.
It was,
I think that this is one of my favorite snacks is apples, and I love green apples and almond butter, but apples and peanut butter is super solid.
You definitely need like a nice tart apple.
Yeah, it's good.
It's better.
Have you tried this? Is it tart enough?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
it's great.
Oh, very fancy. Pre-cut apples.
Mm-hmm.
No, you spent hours cutting those up.
All 8 slices.
Yeah, I most often nick my hands is at night with my late night snack of apples and
not
peanut butter.
Not paying attention enough.
Yep, not using the correct knife. So that's good. Love it. I'm a little bit of a peanut butter snob, but
what's
Skippy's
your...
all right. Jif would be what I go to. Yeah.
Creamy or crunchy?
Jif,
or extra crunchy?
Jif, that I don't care. I think I love. Okay. But if I'm doing apples, I usually do the creamy peanut butter.
Yeah.
That's just how I do it. So, okay, Alyssa, tell us about your hometown. Where are you from?
Medford, Oregon.
That's so exciting.
And what brings you here?
I'm born and raised in Medford, Oregon. Lived here my whole life. I left for a couple years after high school and did YWAM in Puerto Rico for 2 years.
Really? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I did, but then Medford drew me back. Yeah. I came back home.
Yeah, Medford. Yep.
So I think I've been at Living Waters since, 2001, 20 years.
Yeah.
I think I was in like 5th grade when I started coming. So Ryan got to deal with me all through youth group.
We were there.
Oh, man.
OG.
In the youth group. It was good times.
So it's been good.
That's rad. Good long stretch. So, and now you live here. How long have you been married? Married to Mike. You want to tell us anything about him? Or?
Married to Mike Kerlinger. Everyone knows Mike Kerlinger, so you can't go anywhere without someone knowing Mike.
Yeah, he's been around a long time as well.
Yeah. We will be married 10 years this year.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Wow. Congrats.
Thank you. Yeah.
What?
I feel like I don't know how we got here so fast.
So, you may notice that I just had like a whole out-of-body experience just then. It was like, I wonder if the camera was zoomed in on me as I like just calculated my entire existence. That's
Ryan married us. Yep.
Cool.
Wow.
So cool.
Yeah.
So, well.
Was Mike in youth group too? Is that how you guys met?
Yeah.
Did you meet in youth group?
We did meet in youth group.
Wow. Okay.
We were not super close friends in youth group. He was loud and
Yeah.
extrovert and crazy. And I had like my
was a
one friend and I
chore.
was like in a corner.
Yeah.
He was a chore.
He was a chore.
I could believe it.
Yeah, no, it was wonderful times, but
He's
he was more
like-
challenging than Alyssa.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it at that.
Leave
maybe.
it at that.
So now, what do you do for work?
Yeah,
good old
buckle
Medford?
up. So
Yeah,
let's see.
explain this to us.
So I am a research associate for the Oregon Center of Excellence for Assertive Community Treatment.
Wow.
So
Did you get that?
Self-explanatory
Yeah,
right there.
yeah.
just
Right.
walk away with
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah, cool.
No. So Assertive Community Treatment, it's a program. It's a mental health program, and it's all over the state. There's programs all over the state. OHA kind of oversees these programs. It follows a very specific evidence-based model, and it's really focused on some of the most vulnerable population with severe and persistent mental illness, people with schizophrenia and bipolar diagnosis. And it's set up to really help people stay stable in the community, whereas oftentimes they would be institutionalized, whether in jail or in the hospital.
Yeah.
And so it's really a multidisciplinary team of people fully coming around someone to support them staying stable in the community, not being homeless, getting jobs, going back to school, whatever is part of their recovery, what they want. So the team that I work with, we really oversee the program to make sure that they're trained. We provide technical assistance to make sure they understand the model, that they're following the model, because it is evidence-based. We expect certain outcomes to come from the program.
They're all trackable. So
So that's really my job, is to quarterly track some of those outcomes. We have teams report a lot of data. I love data.
Yeah. It's
I'm like, bring it all
reporting
in.
time.
I know.
Yay.
All of these human services providers who are like, I just want to work with people in the community. I'm like, give me the numbers.
Right. But is it
And they
working?
hate it.
Is it effective?
Yes.
Are you making a difference?
How are we impacting, and where do we need to improve? So that's really where I come in. The rest of my team, they're all trainers. They're working with programs to train them up in the model, provide feedback where need to, and then I get to come in and do program evaluation to see how effective is the model in Oregon. It's a model that's been around for over, I think, almost 50 years, and it's international, but it's fairly new to Oregon. It didn't really get established here to fidelity to the evidence-based model, maybe 2013.
Wow.
So we're actually fairly new to the game. So we've been doing, I get to work from home, and when we're not in pandemic times, I get to travel around the state, which has been really fun. I've, born and raised in Medford, but I've got to see more of Oregon in the last 3 years working in this job than in my whole life. So that's been really fun, being able to travel all over.
Cool.
Yeah.
So it sounds like there's a lot of different elements to this job that you enjoy. Have you always been passionate about mental health or mental health awareness? Or I know you like data and traveling. So what is that
It's just the
fulfilling
numbers. It's mostly just the
aspect?
numbers.
Is it just the numbers?
No, I mean, I got my degree in sociology. I was
Okay.
always like, I want to show up for people,
Yeah.
and that's always been my heart. But I think you can also figure out where do you fit in those. I did a little bit of direct service work, and I'm such an introvert, and it's hard for me to show up for people every single day in that way.
Yeah.
And I didn't expect to get into mental health. It was like I graduated, and I had been doing research at school on student retention. And a friend of mine's like, hey, I'm doing supported education for this program here locally in Jackson County. We help people in the mental health field. We help them go back to school. And you are
cool.
really, a lot about the school system and about keeping people in school. Would you apply for this? So I said, I needed experience kind of out in the professional world. I'd been at Starbucks for 10 years. So I was like, I'm gonna jump in. And so I did that for 3 months, and then Jackson County had huge layoffs at Health and Human Services. And since I had only been there for a few months, I was bottom of the totem pole there. But since I'd got my degree I'd really focused my sociology degree on research and doing social research. And I found that I really enjoyed that aspect of it, because it is so important, we think we have these ideas of what would be good for people.
Oh, yeah.
But if you actually, and that's usually from our own experiences. We think this will be good for someone because I've experienced this as being good. But when you ask, maybe a larger group of people, maybe that's not the case. And I think a lot of policies and things get put into place because people are like, well, I experienced this as good, and so I want to put this as a policy instead of asking.
It's not effective.
It's not effective because maybe that's not the case for a majority of people or for the people the policy is trying to serve.
Right.
So I found that I loved research for that aspect, being able to provide something concrete and actually get a wider perspective on topics. So when I got laid off, or when I knew I was about to get laid off, I was, just looking around, and this job was available. It was open, and
by chance.
Just by chance, yeah.
Wow.
And so I'd had mental health experience, and I had this, minor in social research. And my old boss knew my current boss, and she gave me a great recommendation. It was just, it was divine.
Yep, absolutely.
Intervention of just kind of me staying open to be like, all right, yeah, this door's opening. Let's walk through it. And then that door closed pretty fast, but then this new one walked, and I love the work that I get to do now.
It's so cool to think of how you're aware of your own strengths and then what draws from you and what gives you life. And that so often we think, I'm going to help people, I have to be that person that's right on the front lines. And you don't imagine that, wait a minute, and behind all of that is God's going to place the right people into the right positions to be able to have like massive effect for people. And that's just so cool that you're comfortable enough in your own skin and who you are. To go, this is my strength, and I'm going to love people this way and show up for people this way.
Yeah.
It's just so cool.
I did feel a little bit like, I kind of questioned myself, like, the most important work is the direct work, like that seems like but it just
so
wasn't a good, there's so much more to it. And you need every aspect to make, to make it work well. So
you're the unsung hero in your PJs at home.
I'm okay with that too.
Yes.
But we do want you to get back on the road.
I know.
It's not too far out.
Not too
You
far
get to
out,
do some more of that
hopefully.
traveling and check on some other communities and make sure things are working. And I love that too. And like leading a church, and I want us to be doing things that are effective. And oftentimes the things that look the most effective aren't actually effective. And it's a funny time to be in because church is being reformed, it's being refined. And we're called to make disciples, but the church model has started to quantify success through a lot of things that maybe are good at gathering people, are good at making a building, but are they really good at making disciples? And so the things you're talking about and the way you're saying, let's build that support system, it resonates with my heart for sure, because I want to be good at making disciples. And like all the other stuff that looks like we're doing a great job or this is really neat, it's maybe not as effective as we think it is. And I think that's probably what you're discovering on the mental health side of things is a lot of the stuff that looks good is not as effective as we want it to be.
Yeah.
So, but you are on the Leadership Council. You've been with us for years and years and years. But one of the things that we love to have you as a leader in the house is looking forward. So one of the questions we had is on this Living Water sketch session is just what are you seeing or sensing as a part of the Leadership Council as you're looking forward in this next season for Living Waters that you're excited about?
Yeah, so it's kind of interesting that I've been doing this training through work over the last few weeks, and I've been hearing them use this term being an innovative disruptor. And I feel like it's such a powerful term to grasp onto, and especially for us in this season as we're moving into the next season.
I like that.
Just thinking about, all right, what do we need to hold loosely? What do we need to look at maybe in some of our systems that we've gotten really static in, or that we've gotten too comfortable in, and how do we let Holy Spirit really be that innovative disruptor to those things, and us being able to be open to make those changes where necessary, and I think it's uncomfortable, but I think it's also really exciting too, to see what's going to happen when we allow Holy Spirit to show up that way.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good.
That's really cool.
Innovative disruptor.
I know. I feel like I've heard that term too, but
more recent. Is it something that's coming up?
Have you said that?
I don't.
Maybe I heard it on a podcast.
Yeah.
But I love that.
Yeah. And it's even for us, like how does Living Waters, not that it's about Living Waters, but some of the things that we're called to do is through the innovation of what the Holy Spirit is asking us to do, how we do things, is it just disrupts people enough of that normalcy to go, oh wait, maybe there's a different way to do this, or maybe there's a different approach to this, and whether that's from community groups to building community around my own life or building disciples, creating disciples, like that innovative disruption is a rad phrase. Yeah, let's grab onto that. That is super cool. Well, thank you, Alyssa, for sharing that with us, hanging out with us, letting us have some of your peanut butter and apples. I won't send these home with you. But it was
The rest
great.
of the team can snack on those.
Yeah, we'll put it out there and see if it. We have grazers out there, so they'll consume these things. But thanks for hanging out. It was good stuff. Thank you guys for being with us today. Living Water Sketches, telling people stories. We believe that telling stories helps people connect, and connected people create community, and that's really what our heart is. So we appreciate you guys for being with us today. Thank you.